the lesson, and today's grammar topic is reported speech. Do you know what reported speech means? No, you don't. Okay, so let's move on and I'll explain the reported speech to you today. First, when do we use the reported speech? Sometimes someone says a sentence. For example, I'm going to the cinema tonight. Later, maybe you want to tell someone else what the person said. Like when one of your friends say something to you, you want to say it to another friend of yours. This is how you report your friend's sentence. He told me he was going to the cinema. So if your friend says, I'm going to the cinema tonight, and when you're telling this to your friend, to another friend, you say, he told me he was going to the cinema that night. Alright, let's see it in more details. We usually report the verb with say or tell. For example, he told me that he loved me. Just a second, I'm going to use the pointer pen. So take a look at this sentence. He told me that he loved me. So here the reported verb is told, which is the past form of tell. Next example sentence. He said to me that he wanted to marry me. So here the reported verb is said, which is the past form of say. After say, so here in the first sentence you can see that we're using the object, which is me, right after told. But when you want to use object after said, you have to use to as well. This is a preposition. You say, he said to me that he wanted to marry me. Okay, now let's move on and see it in more detail again. We're going to talk about say and tell here. So, as you can see here, with tell, we need to use the direct object. For example, objects like this, me, you, us. So you can say, tell me, tell you, or tell us. For example, John told me that he was going to be late. So here we can see that we're using the object me right after told. There is nothing between told and me, right? But with say, we can or can't use the direct object. Sometimes when we don't have the object, we can put this word said and we use that and then the subject. For example, John said that he would be late. And there is no object here after said, right? But when we use the object, for example, me, you use to as well. John said to me that he would be late. Which means you can't say John said me. This is wrong. Understand? Let's move on. So here I'll show you the changes in tenses when we report someone's sentence to someone else. As for the present simple, it normally changes to past simple. For example, this is the sentence in present simple tense, right? Can you read it, please? I like ice cream. And if you want to report this sentence to somebody, if you want to say this to somebody, you can say, she said that she liked ice cream. So here you can see the verb like is changing to liked because, as I said, present simple is normally changed to past simple. Next tense is present continuous and it says I'm living in London. And if you want to report this sentence, you normally change the present continuous to past continuous, which is she said she was living in London. So you can't say she said she is living in London. You have to change it to past tense. Next is the past simple. Past simple is optional. You can either change it to past perfect or you can still use the past simple to report someone's sentence. For example, I bought a car, and if you're reporting this, you can say she said she bought a car. It is correct. Next, will. Will is the future simple, as you know, and when you report a future simple, yeah, I will see you later. She said she would see me later. So will changes to would. Next is the modal verb, which is can. The example sentence is I can speak perfect English. Can is normally changed to could, which is the past form of can, right? She said she could speak perfect English. You understand? Great. Let's move on. Next, we'll talk about reporting questions. We will learn how to report the question. For WH questions are these: where, what, and who. Let's take a look at this direct question. So this is the question of someone. Where is the post office, please? Let's say the girl is asking you, where is the post office, please? And you're going to say someone about this. You say, she asked me where the post office was. So in this sentence, in the direct question, you can see normally after the WH question, there is the auxiliary verb. And then we use the subject, the post office, right? But when you report this kind of question, it goes like this. She asked me where. First comes the subject and then use the auxiliary verb, which is was. She asked me where the post office was. So is changing to was here. And we can't say, like, saying this sentence like this, like she asked me where was the post office, would be incorrect. So we're saying she asked me where the post office was. Another example, what are you doing? She asked me what I was doing. So the tense is the tense normally changes, right? And after WH question, we're using the subject, and the sentence goes like a normal sentence. Who was that fantastic man? She asked me who that fantastic man had been, or you can say was. Both are true. Next, we will learn how to report the yes-no questions. You know, yes-no questions are normally asked by using the auxiliary verb. For example, do you love me? He asked me. Here is the key word is to report a yes-no question. If the word if helps us. For example, he asked me if I loved him. The tense changes again. This is present simple, is changing to past simple, and the word that is helping us to report this sentence is if. He asked me if I loved him. Have you ever been to Mexico? She asked me if I had ever been to Mexico. Are you living here? She asked me if I was living there. You understand? Great. Let's move on. So this the time. Now it's time for practice. Let's practice the topic we've learned today. So first we're going to do this activity, which is choosing the correct verb. So you can see that we have two options here, which is say and tell. So Jenny, can you finish all of them and we're gonna check it together? Okay, if you're done, let's check your answers. Can you read the first sentence, please? Correct, very good. So everybody said the concert had been terrible. Correct. Number 2. I didn't tell Meg that I was coming today. We have the object here, that's why we're using tell, right? Number 3. The Prime Minister said that things would get better soon. Number 4. Nancy didn't tell us anything. That is the object, that's why we're using tell again. Number 5. Mr. Jones told the manager that he was leaving. Here we have the object, the manager, that's why we're using told. Number 6. She told us to stand up. Again, we have the object. Number 7. Alice said she was sick. We don't have any object here, that's why we're using said. Correct, very good. Well done, Jenny. This is the end of today's lesson. In the next lessons, we will practice more. We will do more activities related to reported speech. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.